Whoa, number 3. Oh, you didn't see that coming, did you? I want to start telling a story. If I get to a 3rd video every night, if I remember to keep doing this. I briefly said something about the parallel universe in which, you know, if you could switch yourself to any alternate universe, which one would you switch to? Or, you know, just, Star Wars, or DC, or Marvel, or Disney, or whatever, you know what I mean? And, I had said I would choose, like, the Last Man Standing world scenario. I can't think of a specific. Walking Dead's close, but I guess I would prefer to not have the dangers of at least the you know, the undead. Like, okay, wild animals, yeah, maybe a person. I'm thinking like 100 people are left on the earth or something like that. So leave it at that. And nothing caused the shutdown, but everyone just disappeared except you and these other 99 people. And I thought, well, that'd be kind of a fun story to tell too. So I want to start outlining just my ideas, my thoughts as they come at me, and see what you guys think. I think I would start it, I don't know, like, maybe I'd do a few chapters with the main character would probably be a male in his 20s or something, maybe 30s. And he, you know, you get to know his family or friends a little bit before he wakes up one morning. He gets up, his computer won't turn on, he realizes the power's out or whatever. I've actually started writing a little something. He goes to his ashtray and starts fishing through the longer snipes and lights one up, starts walking through the house and starts to realize, like, hey, Hamlin wasn't sleeping on the couch. Or, like, you know, I like to use my friends' names in the story sometimes, or at least to start out with, because the character's usually based on something of that person, so it helps me to remember. A little tip for you. I don't know. So, I was thinking his first morning he does that and he realizes he's got to get coffee. So whoever's up is going to get coffee this morning with him. He starts walking through the house and he realizes that no one's here. So he's like, oh, this is weird. No power and everybody's gone. What the fuck happened? You know, he's starting to freak out a little bit. So he goes back to his computer and I haven't decided this. In the story, his computer was still working, and he read a story briefly before everything went out of something that had happened. But it never got to the point. Like, I never wanted to get to the point, kind of like The Walking Dead, where you don't know how it actually all started. So at this point, I'd have to say, I think I might trash that and go with the idea that he has no idea, so he has to discover it for himself. So, you know, maybe he looks out the window and I don't know how I want to deal with, like, people disappearing, like the Rapture. Like, I don't want to handle it like, you know, Tim LaHaye's series or something like that, where, like, planes crash. But at the same time, that could make things a little more interesting. So I'm gonna go with that. So there's a little bit of chaos in the street. There's cars crashed here and there. You can smell smoke in the distance. You look out at the bubblehead, and, like, you know, there's a ton of cars just parked in the parking lot. But no one's around. And so, like, you know, he slowly decides to make his way down to the street level and kind of look around and be like, what the hell's going on? Maybe he grabs, like, a baseball bat or something. And so he starts wandering through traffic, looking in cars, looking under cars, you know, he just can't figure out what's going on. He's looking up at the sky, looking for maybe a plane or something. He stops and listens and just hears nothing but, like, a car alarm maybe way off or something. And he moves on in his journey and he gets to, like a convenience store that's located near his house. And so he goes in the convenience store and no one's there. Like, he goes into the back room, no one's there. This is the first time that he's starting to realize, like, okay, something's seriously up. An evacuation happened and I missed it. And so he's looking outside and he's thinking, well, I'm hungry right now. So he sits there for a few minutes and eats some candy bars and maybe a slush, and scratches off some scratch tickets or something. You know, just maybe he spends like an hour there before he finally is just like, all right, this is growing boring. So he looks in the next building and he starts walking down the road some more, and that's where the story would start out. I just don't know where it's going to go from there, because if you don't have at least one other character for him to interact with, like, I don't know, like, from a first person perspective, like, you could do something very, like, I kept looking up and down, blah 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 blah. You could actually kind of dictate it a little bit more, I think, and you could get some conversation going from that, even though he's the only person there. But I don't know how far that goes. Like, obviously, at some point you realize, okay, well, this is how life's going to be until people come back, or I get to a new location that provides me with further information. Because as of right now, he has, there's nothing he can do to figure out what's going on, which slowly, I imagine, would drive you insane, because you'd start wondering, what the hell happened? Why am I the only one here? What is going on? Am I in a coma or something? I'm sure you'd think things like that. I guess, that's where I kind of want it to go. Like, I want him to go through that crazy stage 2 where he's just like, holy shit, I can just go smash stuff or, like, jump on beds or, just crazy things that you think of when you're a kid. So he goes through that nutty phase, and then he goes through this depression stage where he's just like, am I ever going to find anybody out here, or am I completely alone? And I want to drag that out for a while before we decide if, like, maybe there is somebody, and maybe they do find each other. And so there you go. At least you've confirmed there. And maybe that's the end of, like, book 1 or something, or halfway through book 1. And then it's their journey continuing on, trying to find out what happened, and eventually maybe just giving up, because at some point it doesn't matter anymore. I don't know. I think it's a pretty good story. It's hard to do a story like that, like, if you don't have the element of zombies. But, like, I don't want this to be like a zombie story, but I definitely want it to be a horror in a way, because I think you could have fun like that for a while, but, like, when you finally realize that, yes, you are the only person here, you have to just deal with that. Could you imagine the solitude you would feel, knowing that, like, on this entire planet that's just spinning around the sun, night and day comes and goes for him, but it doesn't matter anymore? Like, he's got nowhere to be, no one in his life. Like, that would really drive him a little nutty, until he finally finds that there's another person out there. So, don't know what you think. I copyright this. Look at the date. Yikes. That was rough. You guys have a great night. I already said Happy Mother's Day, so I'm not saying it again. Alright, I'll say it one more time. Happy Mother's Day. And I'll see you episode 50 tomorrow night. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to go down. It could get crazy. Just hang in with me. Alright? Hang by. Just trying to think of something really profound to say. I was going to say, good night. God bless America. But I just lost it. Alright, get out of here, folks. You're bothering me. Get off my lawn. I'll see you next time.